This is the Bullpen playoff special here. We're going to talk through we're going to do a draft, basically. And Tyler, this is kind of your concept, so if you want to just kind of kick it off and kind of explain the rules and everything we're going to do with this, but should be fun.
Yeah, so basically what sparked this idea was just like a March Madness type pool, right, where you may draw some teams out of a hat, and those are your teams for the entire, bracket play. If they lose, they're done. If they win, they keep going. But we'll have a point system. Basically how it's going to work is we're going to go class by class, 1A, starting with 1A, and we'll end it with 4A. There's 5 of us here. We're going to go around in a snake-style draft. The draft order will be decided here shortly, but we'll each there will be 3 rounds per class. So we'll in total be taking 15 teams from each class. The point system is basically your team that you take, they will get rewarded for each game they win. We're going to start with the regional semis. I know there's regional quarterfinal games going on. Your quote-unquote playing games. We're not going to count those. I don't know if anybody here has taken anybody in a playing game, but those will not count. We're going to start the counting at regional semi games, which will all start on this Wednesday actually, for 1A and 2A, and follow that all the way through the state championship. So maybe we'll post something regarding the point system later, but how to go: win your first game, 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 5 points. If your team makes state and they win a state semifinal game, it'll be 10 points. If your team wins state altogether, it's going to be 20 points. So we'll add it all up at the end, see who gets the mantle for knowing the most ball on this podcast. So it's all for bragging rights, all in good fun. So
it'll be interesting. But when we do our draft order we're gonna do like a wheel, I guess, on air. We'll put it live on air. I believe it's a wheel, right, Tyler? It's gonna be a spinning wheel.
It just spits it out.
Okay.
I was messing around with it earlier, so it's just gonna shoot out the names, all 5 of our names in a particular order.
Hold on, we might have our first controversy here. I think we should allow the play-in games, no? And I feel like that would be a heck of a call.
Yeah, you can pick them if you want.
Gives you an added point, right?
Yeah,
if they win just one more round, it could be one more point. You're muted, Tyler. I think you're trying to give some instructions here.
Yeah, if you take a team that's in a regional quarterfinal game, we'll say that's 1 point as well.
Okay.
Because it's a risky move.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little reward for that.
Yeah.
Just writing it down so I don't lose it.
Appreciate that.
Just taking a quick look from a few weeks ago and last week. So last week I personally made my 1A, 2A picks. Probably a little premature because we're doing this now, but weeks ago, maybe 7-8 weeks ago at the start of the year, we each picked our predictions for 1A through 4A. I don't think Dane was on that one, so Dane's going to kind of have a fresh slate here. But just running through quick my previous picks. So last week for 1A, I said Father McGivney versus Marquette. McGivney wins. 2A, I said Nashville versus St. Joe Ogden. St. Joe Ogden wins. Nashville wins. And then at the beginning of the year, I picked Marquette for 1A, St. Anthony for 2A, JCA for 3A, Joliet Catholic, and then Edwardsville for 4A. So, Drew, if you want to run down who you had.
I thought you were going to give us who we had.
Sorry, I can.
Do you have it?
Yeah, it's on this playoff sheet.
Let me pull up the playoff sheet. Sorry, but yeah, go ahead and run it down for me.
I can run through mine real quick if Drew wants to try and find his. But before the year, I went Harvest Christian for 1A. I went Wilmington for 2A, Lamont for 3A, and then for 4A, I took McHenry. So I'll throw it over to Pete or Drew if you're ready, but that's who I had.
Yeah, I'll hop right in here. For 1A, I had Father McGivney, which I may or may not still feel really confident in. 2A, I had Columbia. 3A, I had St. Lawrence. And then 4A, I had Pravi. So.
All right, and then, Drew, I'll just run through yours for you quick. So you had, where are you at? So 1A, you had Route Catholic. 2A, you had Teutopolis. 3A, you had Morris. And 4A, you had Normal Community. So pretty good picks there.
Thank you for helping me out here.
Yes.
Stuff's still loading up, but I kind of like where I'm sitting with those preseason picks. Normal Community's hot. Let's go. Same with Morris. Yeah. We just talked about him on the podcast. All right.
So, Tyler, I'll let you now kind of get into this random generator for us so we know. We'll do 1A first. Let us know who's going first. But share your screen so we can see it.
Sorry, I made got that instant karma right there. I was laughing on my end because of Drew. But all right, here we go. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, can you guys see it? We ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The draft order will be with the first pick, we're gonna have Gavin Smith. Second pick, Drew. Third pick, Dane. Fourth pick, me. And fifth pick, Peter. So that is what we got.
Also, just to clarify, are we changing this for each class, or am I getting the one pick for every class?
Well, this was I got the second pick, and here's my thing: are we starting at 4A or 1A?
1A.
And to Gavin's
1A.
point, are we recycling it? Because that should be. I want the second pick in 4A.
Yes, we should recycle it. That is most fair, and just keeps it simple as well. So Gavin knows he's got the first pick in each class, and so on and so forth. You've got the second, Dane's got third, I've got fourth, and Hammett's gonna be our value finder at the old 5 spot.
In this 1A class.
In all 4 classes.
Because I'm thinking we do it after each class.
Redo the order?
Yeah, I think
sure.
I kind of agree.
I don't want Gavin taking the first pick in every class. Are you kidding me?
I do.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I want that.
I think we do it after every class, unless
that's
like
fine.
hard to do.
Let's do whatever. I mean, it's our thing. Who cares? I'm gonna type all these names back in here so I don't lose my window. But no,
So
I'm good with
1A,
that.
It goes Gavin, me. Who's got third pick? Dane.
And then Tyler, and then Peter.
All right, so then Pete, you'd have 2 back-to-back picks.
I'm keeping this all in, by the way. This is great. This is great stuff.
And then Gavin would have 2 picks to end it. All right.
So we're getting 3 total.
Yep.
Okay.
There will be 3 total rounds.
Okay.
So on the comeback, Hammett, you'll get the last pick of round 1, the first pick of round 2. Drew will get, Gavin, will get the last pick of round 2, the first pick of round 3. So.
All right. You guys ready for the first pick of the draft?
Yeah, so 1A, we're going through 1A, who we think is going to make it the farthest.
Correct. I think this is probably no surprise here. 30-3 record here. They've scored 331 runs so far. They've only given up 70. Very, very good offense, and they have pitching depth to pair, and that is Father McGivney. So, number 1 pick, the Griffins.
Yeah, I took them off my board before you even said them.
Yep.
Well, if my sheet would load up here. So we were going to try to keep it quick in between picks, about 10 to 20 seconds. I feel really confident here. Team no stranger to making it to state. I think they've got, outside of Father McGivney, probably the top or arguably the top lineup in the state. But I'm going Marquette Academy. Ottawa Marquette. There was another team I was eyeing, but yeah, I feel really, really strong about the old Ottawa Marquette. They're 28-3. I love what they bring back. They got Alec Novotny on the mound. I was just looking at some of their position guys today. Sam Mitri, Griffin Doberstein, Anthony Couch, Grant Dose. I know I'm missing some others, but yeah, there it is. Second pick off the board.
All right. 3 is my lucky number, so I'm gonna go with St. Bede out of the Peru sectional, 26-4 record. I think I got a winner there.
They're number 4 on my board, Dane. So if you were gonna take this next team, that's where I was going. But I'm not gonna think too hard about this one. I'm going Harvest Christian. Like the sectional they're in. Jameson Rapinchuk and Obed Lopez are 2 arms I would love to have going into the tournament. That 1-2 punch there. So I'm going to go Harvest Christian.
Yeah, that was my pick. So I'm going to switch, and I'm going Arcola out of the Arcola sectional.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, led
Tanner
by Tanner
Thomas.
Yep. Feel good about that. It's always good to have an ace come playoff time, especially at the 1A level. All right, and then going right back into it. So this is one that I was actually tipped off at a game I was recently at. I was in my car, and a nice gentleman came up to me and tipped me off about Parkview Christian. They had some. I mean, they're like 12-7 on the year right now. And they're a 7 seed. They're actually in a play-in game, which is why I asked that question earlier if we could take a pick from there. But so they have tied Marmion this year, and they had a really close game against Coal City, lost 8-7, but they beat Harvest Christian already this year. So just one to look for, our Parkview Christian.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sleeper pick.
Well, this team that I'm about to take made a super sectional last year, and then they added perhaps maybe the best, arguably one of the best arms in the senior class. I'm going with Waltonville.
Come on.
You got a Brandon Menser this time of year. I like your chances. They're a 1 seed in the Cobden sectional, so I'm going Waltonville here.
That's a good pick. I had them on my board here. I actually was hoping they would maybe slip to number 3 or round 3 for me, but it's all right.
So what do we got? We got Dane and then myself.
Yeah.
All right.
With my second pick, I'm going to go Gibson City out of the Arcola sectional. 1 seed. I like their path.
Yeah, that's interesting there, Dane. I thought that was a good one as well. But they're going to match up with Mount Pulaski at some point, so that could be an interesting one if they meet up. But
I mean, you're missing another team in that sectional that they could meet up with, Armstrong. Rocking Traxton Roberts. I think that'll be an interesting matchup. Anytime Traxton Roberts is on the mound for Armstrong, I think they'll be tough. But I'm not going Armstrong. I'm going to go with my 1A preseason pick, Route Catholic. I still really like what they've got going on. I'm going to ride those boys down in Jacksonville, and we're gonna be collecting some points on the back of Route Catholic.
all right, I appreciate you guys leaving this team for me. I'm going Monmouth United, 29-4 record, 313 runs scored on the year. They've struck out 307 batters as a team. Ian Leffer at the plate is leading the way for them. It's been 450 with 8 homers, 46 RBIs. They have three guys hitting over 400. So Monmouth United is my second round pick here. And then for my third pick, I'm gonna go with Forreston. They're 25-7, 290 runs scored. I think they have a pretty good route in the playoffs. So Forreston is gonna be my third pick.
Well, I'm absolutely torn here on how to close it out. Like I said, I really like Armstrong. I really like Mount Pulaski. Leroy's also interesting. Right there outside of Peoria, in between Peoria and Bloomington, or Bloomington and Champaign.
There,
yeah. But I'm gonna go. It's been a while since I've seen this team down at State. From way down in Southern Illinois, I'm gonna go with Goreville. They're rocking a 1 seed out of the Cobden sectional. We're gonna see if they can make it back to Peoria for us here.
Right,
Feeling pretty strong about my 1A picks. Sorry.
There you go. I'm going to go with Illini Bluffs out of the Jacksonville sectional to go up against your Monmouth United, potentially, along the way.
This is tough.
Solid one.
There's a couple different directions I want to go. I'm going to lean on the arm again. Drew teased this. I'm honestly surprised he didn't take it, but shoot, I'll take it. Give me Armstrong. Traxton Roberts. Arcola sectional. Now, listen, that's a good sectional. Arcola obviously is going to host in that one. Gibson City, Melvin Sibley is also in there as well. So it's going to be tough, but got a Traxton Roberts. You got my ears. So.
Yep.
All right.
Finish it out.
All right. I'm going North Clay.
Great
20-6 on the year. What was that? Yeah. So that's a good sign if Gav's mad. They got 2 guys hitting over 400. They got Cody Zimders hitting 446 and Ian Jones hitting 420. But like I said, 26 on the year. I just got a good feeling about them. So we'll see how they do.
Yeah, they're what, Gavin, 2 or 3 years off winning the 1A state title?
Yeah. 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Can I brain dump some teams that just missed the cut for me?
Brain dump them.
Should we give some love? Dwight, thought about them.
Me too.
They were number 8 on my board. I had Jabal Catholic on there. I know they haven't had the best year, but I do kind of like how things match up for them in their sectional. And then South Beloit, sitting over there in the Lena sectional. They've got a guy by the name of Richard Carlson who's a very talented 2027 who's honestly had a really good year on both sides of the ball. So just another team to watch right there.
I was also looking at Valmeyer with Luke Blackwell. Galena 17-7. I think they have a solid sectional. But yeah, that's I feel good about my 1A picks. I really do. I got McGivney, Monmouth United, and Forreston. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, time will tell, Gav. Time will tell. Soak it in right now, bud. It's like all my fantasy drafts. You think they're great at first, and then all of a sudden you're sitting at 1-6 on the year. You're like, what's going on here?
You're feeling like world's best GM right now.
Yep. It's all fun and games till the games start going. All right, so 1A, we're good?
Yeah, Tyler, let's get some 2A action. Show us the screen.
All right, here we go. All right. And the order is... Oh,
let's go.
Oh, this got rigged.
Let's go.
So
Gavin's getting the first pick and then the second pick?
Go.
So here we go for 2A. The order will be yours truly will have the first pick. Gavin will have the second pick. Peter will have the third. Dane will have the fourth. And Drew will have the fifth. So that will be the order for the 2A level. Oh, boy.
All right, well, yeah, what do you got, Tyler?
Say this order again. I was writing it down. I was trying to mute myself. Gavin, Peter, Dane, and then Drew. So then I would get back-to-back picks.
Yep, that is
this
correct.
Is really going to mess with... Yeah, all right. I got to lock in basically my 4th and 5th best team. All right, I should be good.
All right. Just trying to find a quick nugget. All right. Well, with the first pick, I'm going to go to Topolis for 2A. Listen, I liked them earlier this spring. I think they've got a lot going for them. On the mound, you got a guy by the name of Austin Voorhees. They've got Mick Niebrugge, who's had a great year on both sides of the ball. Davin Warman's a left-handed arm. They can run out there. So I'm going to go the Wooden Shoes with the first pick.
First pick, and we're not even going a 1 seed, Gavin. What do we think? He's got strong feelings about the Wooden Shoes.
It's a solid pick. I mean, we got him in the Power 25, so I'll respect it. But I'm gonna do you one better, Def. I'm going St. Joe Ogden. All right, St. Joe Ogden, 31-3 on the year. They've scored 294 runs, given up 85. Good lineup, good pitching. We'll see. But
they were number 2 on my board, so honestly, I enjoy that pick. It was between those two for me. So
yeah, you stole my pick. I'm going Wilmington though, 20-7. They've had some good at least close games against some big schools this year. So they're a team that we've kind of liked this year as well. They got Lucas Rink, who's one of the top arms in that 27 group, and other names down that line. But I feel good about Wilmington here in the postseason.
Well, one quick nugget on Wilmington. They went to state last year, so it's a group that knows how to get it done this time of year.
I feel like that's a pretty awesome pick for 3rd overall there for 2A.
That's a very good pick.
Yeah. It's Dane now?
Yeah, I got a better pick. Chicago Hope. Chicago sectional.
I love it.
Oh, wow.
I love that pick. That was a sectional I was on. Chicago Hope's played a ton of good quality teams this spring and played them tough. All right, so it's me for 2.
Yeah, let's see it, Drew.
All right, I'm shocked that Nashville lasted this long.
Yeah.
Absolute no doubter. I was eyeing Nashville the entire time. They were number 1 on my big board. Just continue to really look the part. If anybody has their record offhand, feel free, but I know they had 1 loss.
I got you here.
Yeah, it's like 26-1.
28 wins, 1 loss, 9-game winning streak.
Yeah, about to be. I
Yeah.
think it's a 7-game winning streak to win state. So you can just make it a 16-game winning streak and add on a couple more. um, so Nashville, I'm looking forward to celebrating you guys lifting the trophy down there in Peoria. All right, so for round 2, my second pick.
Drew,
There's some
I do want
teams
to
that-
throw in real quick.
Yeah.
Just for anybody that doesn't know, I know Drew just said the championship will be in Peoria. This year, 1A and 2A will actually be at the University of Illinois. So
That's for this. It got changed.
Yeah.
That's right, due to a conflict, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I
So
forgot that was for this upcoming year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Got it.
to Nashville, Drew can't wait to see you guys hoist the trophy over there in Champaign. So
Yeah, there you go. That'll be a cool little venue for state. Man, there's some teams I like, but I would say in 2A, like there's some really, really tough sectionals that I'm trying to avoid. I think I'm gonna have to go with my number 2 pick here. I'm gonna have to go with Pleasant Plains.
Ooh, good pick.
I think they can do it out of that sectional. They do have Sacred Heart Griffin in there among some others, and I don't want to say any more teams because I know you guys are still picking, and I still have one left. But yeah, so I got Pleasant Plains and Nashville.
All right,
I'm gonna
Dan.
go with the Sacred Heart Griffin out of Pleasant Plains sectional to rival your last
Bring it
pick.
on, Dane.
I think that's gonna be a potential good matchup there.
What are you thinking here, Hammett? I'm feeling really good. I got my picks on the board still that I wanted. So
I already know who you're taking, Gavin. If Hammond doesn't
You
take
don't.
him right here, I definitely do.
you don't.
I'm torn, but I think I'm gonna go St. Anthony. Coming
Like
right
it.
off,
Solid pick.
back to back. Hopefully, I mean they're going for back to back, but they got a couple horses on the mound, and some bats that I liked in that lineup when I saw them. Yeah, I got a good feeling about them. So I don't know if that's who you were thinking, Gav. Doesn't sound like it because you're not mad
It
at
is
me,
not.
but okay.
It is not.
I like.
I
that.
forgot
So-
you have a certain team, so I take back what I said because you technically can't take this team. So, well, you could, but it
I can take
wouldn't
whoever I
make-
want.
Really
And
wouldn't
I
make a lot of
promise
sense.
This
but
is a great pick right here. You ready for
all
this?
right, yep.
I'm going Byron.
Oh my
20
god!
28-4 record, 341 runs scored on the year. They've only allowed 98, and in their last 14 games, they scored over. Or in their last 14 games, they scored over 10 runs in 13 of them. So I'm going Byron here for my second round pick.
They were my next team on my big board, Gav.
Well, they
Really
were
like
getting around to
sectional.
you, so. Oh, Gavin. Well, I'm going to take your love child then. I'm going Monticello. You've got Nike Young. Got a shot to win. We've seen it before. One arm could take you all the way to state. I think Ike Young's that talented. So give me Monticello here. On the turn. This is a little risky. They're sectional. I don't love that they're in it with Eureka, but give me IVC out there in the Chillicothe sectional. Personally, I love driving through Chillicothe when we go down to our Peoria event, so give me IVC. Yeah, why not? Going with the Ghosts. They got a sick nickname too. I'm going IVC.
All right. So for my next pick, I'm glad you. I did have IVC on my list. I also had Monticello, Tyler, but I was not going to take them. I'm gonna. Man, this is tough. I'm gonna go with my gut. It's Tremont, 27-5 record. They've scored 291 runs this year and only given up 68. They probably have like one of the deepest pitching rotations so far in 2A. Good hitters too. I was between them and Eureka, but I'm gonna go with Tremont.
Yeah, that's tough. They were next for me, but I'm actually surprised that this is still here for me. I know that it's a kind of a gauntlet of a sectional, but normal U-High, I'm going to take them right now. Yeah, sign me up. Give me some Pioneers.
My final pick, I'm gonna go in the Mendota sectional and take Newman Central Catholic.
So that means I'm the final pick of 2A. I'm just making sure I'm cross-checking all my stuff here. I like normal U-High a lot, Pete. And I agree. That sectional is going to be a tough sectional. I am eyeing a couple teams here. Eureka stands out. Harrisburg stands out. Massac County stands out. But I think I'm going to go down here. And we haven't seen this team yet this spring. They did lose their last game 8-5 to Nashville. But that's okay because I have Nashville. So I am going to go Greenville. Greenville, they got the number 1 seed. They're in the Teutopolis sectional, so we'll see who comes out of that. Tyler, your first pick. Hopefully Greenville has something to say about it. But I'll be honest, Columbia was a hard one to pass up on as well. I'm going to stick with Greenville, though. We'll see what we can do there with the boys.
All right, we'll see. 2A's, I feel like, always a tough one with just what happens last year. Or I shouldn't say last year, but just in years past, usually there's a team that's not a higher seed making it through somehow. Just a lot of good teams. But
Gavin, who's your last pick?
my last pick was Tremont.
Tremont.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, also, just a quick correction. IVC doesn't play Sherrard. They would have to play Sherrard in like a super sectional. So their side of the bracket, the only team I'm really worried about is like a Brimfield. They have to face Shot Sick.
What?
I will say.
So if they get all the way to a super sectional, I'll take the 10 points out of my final pick out of a 2A school. So
Sherrard.
Sherrard's an interesting one, though. Tyrannus probably can take him pretty far.
Yeah, who did you take? Who do they not play? I'm sorry.
IVC.
No, they don't play him in a sectional championship.
Yeah, a super sectional. So if they get
No,
if I get
it's a game before
sectional.
supers.
Oh,
They're
that's
in the
fine.
same sectional.
even then, if I get, what would that be? 4, 7. Yeah, it'd be close to 10 points out of my third team out of 2A. I'll take it.
We took a bunch of teams in that sectional, though. Oh, actually, no, we did not take Sherrard. Took IVC. Was that the only team in that sectional that got taken?
No,
IVC, because nobody took Eureka.
Oh yeah,
Nobody
you're
took
right.
Sherrard.
Yeah.
Nobody took
Nobody
Hall.
Illini West.
Canton was in there too, little Cash Van Houten.
That's going to be a heck of a game, though, Eureka Canton, if Cash Van Houten can get them to that game or however they go about it.
All right, what do we got for 3A, Def? You got the generator pulled up for us?
Yep. All right. Here we go. Oh, let me redo it. And for 3A, the order will be
Let's go.
Dane with the first pick, Gavin with the second pick, Peter with the third pick, Drew with the fourth, and myself with the last pick. So, once again, it'll go Dane, Gavin, Peter, Drew, Tyler for 3A.
All right, Dane, what do you got? Let's kick us off here.
I'm gonna go with Triad out of the Troy sectional. 24-5 record on the season. Currently ranked 6th in our rankings. I think I'm pretty confident with that pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That was probably gonna be mine, but I'm just gonna go St. Lawrence. I don't have anything written down for them because I honestly didn't think I would get them, but yeah, St. Lawrence is gonna be my first pick here.
Yeah, that's who I was about to pick. So I'm going to switch and go Morris. I'm going to take Drew's preseason pick. Just saw them. I like what they bring to the table with Jack Wheeler. I mean, he can do a little bit of everything, but they got depth on the mound too, with like a Brett Bounds and Colin Pfeiffer. And then even Steve Martin will come out of the pen for them. They got a lot of depth, a lot of college guys. Seems like they probably got more Purdue Northwest commits than anybody in the state. So yeah, I like Morris.
Just getting my bearings here, guys. It's on me, correct? I don't mean to keep this silent. I'm going to take Prairie Ridge. I really, really like Prairie Ridge. They've handled themselves extremely well in the Fox Valley Conference. Play a bunch of 4A teams throughout the year, and then they drop down to this 3A playoff, kind of like Crystal Lake Central last year. We'll see if they can make a run. They are in a tough sectional, but I really like what I've seen out of Prairie Ridge, so count me in.
All right. That stings a little bit, but I'm gonna go to Paul College Prep. Similar vein to Prairie Ridge. They, unfortunately for them, have to play a bunch of really good 4A schools in that CCL Blue. I like their draw in their sectional. Kind of banking on them making a little bit of a run here. So we'll go to Paul College Prep with my first pick. From there, I talked about this team on the original version of this podcast, but I'm going to go St. Francis. In the Maple Park sectional, really impressed with what I saw from them, what they have offensively. They got an arm by the name of Colt Armbrust as well at the top of that rotation that I think could win them some big games here down the stretch. So that's what I got on the turn.
Yeah, I'm in a tough spot here. I'm a lot of teams I like. I think one team that I'm gonna hang my hat on here, I'm gonna go with Lamont. I know we've already taken St. Lawrence out of that same sectional. It makes it very hard because that is a gauntlet of a sectional.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat here, but I think I'm going to go out of the Troy sectional, so tough one with Triad in there, but I'm going to go Muscuda. Arms are, kind of the name of the game come playoff time, and they got two really good ones with Austin Musso and Darren Klein. So with the way the playoffs kind of shape out, like they'll be pitching basically every game almost just about, so I really like their chances, and if they can put enough together offensively, I think they'll be in really good shape. But you never know what's going to happen when you got an arm like Austin Musso. You can beat anybody. So we'll see what happens there.
And I know Nolan Liebert's been good for them too, right?
Yep, and he's a good position player for them too.
Yeah, he's done it both. I think his velo is climbing up as well. So that's definitely a sneaky team to keep eyes on.
I think I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that I didn't get this pick, or that no one else picked this, and that I'm able to get it. Might not have the most impressive record at the time at 16-8, but Glenwood with Cam Appenzeller and Dylan Huff, I think it's kind of similar to what teams in the past like York did last year with a guy like Ryan Sloan. I think I would not be surprised if Cam Appenzeller could help lead these guys to state as well as Dylan Huff. So I'm going Glenwood.
All right, I think I'm going to go in the Brooks sectional up in Chicago. I'm going to go with De La Salle. I think I really like their path for that one.
You get another pick here, Dane.
I do want to throw this out there. De La Salle actually has a bye all the way to the regional finals. So, Dane, we will give you a pick.
Smart.
Or a point.
Smart man, Dane.
So they do.
Points.
They do lock up a single point. So Dane is already leading all of us 1-0. So
no wonder why you like their path so much.
Yeah, they started right in the regional finals, so I was like, yeah, I like this path. I'm gonna go with it.
I love it. Oh man, that is great. So the last three, it's Gavin, Peter, then myself. I got that right?
Dane will get another pick here.
yeah, Dane has one more pick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Very good. Also, do I have a time limit?
Yeah, you're down to I don't know,
you do.
3 seconds. No, you're good, Dane. This is tough. These last couple picks here in 3A, just looking through my board.
And I'm gonna go with in the St. Patrick sectional, St. Patrick out of.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just played 2 tough games against Nazareth. They had a lefty throw really well, and then they obviously have Patty Roth as well. And talk about a team that plays, tough regular season. I like it,
All
Dane.
right. This is tough with Morrison here, but I'm looking at this Metamora sectional. There's some Peoria schools in here. Man, I'm between two down here, but I think I'm gonna go with East Peoria. I think that they have a matchup potentially if they beat Limestone in the regional finals with Dunlap. If Duncan pitches that, I think he could beat Dunlap, and then they would potentially match up with Morris in the sectional semis. So I don't know. That's a tough one, but I'm going to go East Peoria.
Is it me here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sticking in that same sectional. I'm going JCA. I got got a good feeling about them. I mean, Lucas Grant will give you a chance to win every single ball game he pitches in. Ian Campbell, he will as well. And they got some nice pieces behind him, like Rocco Zambolin, a good left-hander, and they got more depth. But they're a scrappy team. they play a really tough schedule. They're battle tested. They'll be well coached. They won't beat themselves. They're just a team that you really like this time of year. Are they tied for the most, or do they have the second most state titles? I don't know off the top of my head. I think this probably lead it now.
That's a good question. I don't know what
I think they
school
Probably
technically
leads it
does.
now.
Okay, so then they're like second all time. So that's never a bad team to pick.
Yeah, it's a great team to pick. I was really, really hoping that would fall to me because now I'm in a tough spot here. I love what JCA has going, just with their arms. All right, so to close this out, it is a team that before I announce it, I want to make sure that I'm on it. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to go Marion, Southern Illinois.
It's a good pick.
They are. Why did I just lose them on my sheet? They're in the Triad sectional. So, I love Triad. I think they are definitely the team to beat in that sectional. But Marion's going to be sneaky, 18-6, 19-6. I'm sorry. And we're going to give them a shot here, boys. Hopefully they are the sleeper coming out of that Triad sectional.
I'm torn for my last pick. There's two schools I'm really eyeing. I think at this stage you're kind of looking for value. Either a team that might have a light path to a sectional final, or maybe just a team who plays in the Fox Valley Conference, just gets, it's a dogfight every time. They're battle tested. They're ready for 4A or for 3A state tournament. They've got a guy by the name of Charlie Tazzy that you can give the ball to, and you got a good shot to win. So give me Cary Grove for my final pick for 3A. Last year we had a similar story where a team out of the Fox Valley made a Cinderella run all the way to state. Cary Grove won't be flying as under the radar as Crystal Lake Central was last year, but man, I like what the Trojans got. So give me Cary Grove.
I like it, Tyler. It was between them or Marion. So at least my head was in a decent place, I think.
Yeah.
Grays Lake Central was also really interesting. Oh, is there one more pick here? Multiple.
No, that's it. That's it for 3A.
Sorry. Grays Lake Central, I think, is a team that could do some damage. Dunlap's really interesting. Washington, Mount Zion. I was eyeing Mount Zion a little as well.
Yep.
Rochester, I feel like, has been playing better. Champaign Central. There's a lot of tough teams in there.
The Grays Lake sectional in general is tough, right? Prairie Ridge went off the board in the first round. You've also got Crystal Lake Central now. Listen, I know they haven't had the best year. It's been worse entering the tournament this year than it was last year, but a lot of that team comes back from that one state last year. You also got Crystal Lake South, who I saw last week. I wouldn't be surprised if they would go on a little run as well. So that entire section, I think, is pretty loaded.
Yeah, Deerfield's a 9 seed, and I know they were fighting for some conference implications.
Yeah.
Carmel Catholic's a 12 seed, and they have two arms that I know we really like, which Cary Grove could match up with them in the second round if they can get past Niles Notre Dame and if Mount Carmel can beat Antioch. But,
I think
3A is looking like a tough road.
I also think Mattoon's pretty interesting with Madden Johnson and Joseph Stewart both on the mound for them. So, yeah. But Tyler, what's our order for 4A? I'm feeling like I'm going to get a 4 or 5 pick here, but
Screw again, huh?
All right, here we go. The last and final round, the order will be myself with the first pick, Drew with the second pick, Gavin with the 3, Peter with the 4, and Dane with the 5. So one more time, it'll be Tyler, Drew, Gavin, Peter, Dane. I'm gonna get us started right away. I was really hoping I'd have the first pick for 4A. Not gonna lie.
Really?
Give me Edwardsville. They seems like a given under Coach Funkhauser that they're gonna be playing in Joliet. So give me Edwardsville.
It's a tough little sectional.
It is a tough sectional, but if there's anybody that can navigate it, Tim
For
Funkhauser
sure.
led Edwardsville Tiger
100%,
team.
100%.
And I'm pulling up the 4A bracket here from 3A, but the thing with Edwardsville year in year out is some of their hardest matchups in the playoffs comes in the regional. Like the first two games, they got you got the O'Fallons of the world down there, and it tends to be like, man, if they can get out of that regional, whether it's them or O'Fallon, especially when it was like 5 or 6 years ago, they were almost a lock to get to state. So, no, I love it. How can you argue against the Edwardsville Tigers? I mean, with that said, I'm definitely going to take the team that's been the most dominant of anybody in the state this year, and it's Brother Rice. So they'll be my first pick. 30-2, won the CCL.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gav, go ahead.
No, you're good. I cut you off. But Normal Community is going to be my pick. Got to stay loyal to the local team here. But they're on a 15-game winning streak. Had some transfers come in. I guess transfers, but they've got a really talented team all around. Infield's good. They got some good pitching. Jonah Roper's back for them, so I'm going Normal Community.
Give me the defending 4A state champs, Pravi Catholic, who I actually picked preseason. So I think, we always say you can throw their record out the window, them in Edwardsville, until playoffs. I mean, but looking at what they've done recently, they went 5-0 last week, so they're starting to kind of heat up. I like them, especially this time of year.
All right, I'm going to go with Libertyville. Currently number 5 in our rankings, or 3 in our rankings, sorry. 26-4 record. I really like their path as well. I'll have the first pick in the second round. I'm going to go with New Trier up in the Wilmette sectional.
It's a great pick, Dane. I was kind of hoping they were going to be there when it got back to me, but that was clearly wishful thinking. So, good pick there. Really like it.
I kind of torn here because there's a team I'm eyeing in the same sectional that I just picked from, but I'm going to pass them for now. And I might even pull an audible mid-sentence. I'm going to go McHenry.
Oh!
With
Come on.
yeah, with Brandon Shannon leading that charge.
And Shannon, Caden Wozniewski,
Yeah.
Carver Cone. No, it's a safe pick. We mentioned the Fox Valley a bunch, and they've been right up there at the top of that conference with Prairie Ridge battling it out. And no, that's they've been tested this year, and they've got the arms to do it. Pete, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, well, he hasn't been pitching. A slight little injury, like nothing serious, but he's gonna be
Soreness
back.
is what I've heard.
Soreness. So he'll be back. That's kind of what I like about that.
Yep.
But yeah,
He'll be back and maybe fresh. Like he'll be itching to get on the mound. But they also have Bryson Albrecht as well, and Elbrecht, and they'll be an interesting team for sure. And so,
Man.
Gav, I take it he stole your pick there?
That's where I was going. Yeah, I was going to go McHenry. But I'm not sad about this pick either. Lincoln Way East is who I'm going to go with. They got Jack Bauer. We'll see if he can keep it up with some of the dominating stats that he's had against some teams so far. But York did it last year with Ryan Sloan. I kind of mentioned that earlier with another team. But I think that Lincoln Way East has a true ace in Jack Bauer and can lead him pretty far in the state.
Not that this is an easy sectional by any means, but I think I have to take, as far as value is concerned, I don't think there's a team with a better value than picking Minooka right now. Our number 2 team in the Power 25 there, 29-3, and they've got all kinds of talent. And I believe, kind of pulling this off the top of my head, I think they might have lost first round last year with Nate George. So unfinished business is kind of what I'm going for here. I went with that with the preseason. I think Minooka is going to be ready to prove some people wrong. 29-3, let's go.
you got
See
1
you in
and 2 in the
Joliet,
Power
boys.
25. Look at
Huh?
you. You got 1 and 2 in the Power 25.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to head over to the Villa Park sectional. I'm going to take St. Charles North here. They're getting hot right at the perfect time. Coach Genke's been around. He knows how to win, especially this time of year. And you got two arms that are throwing the ball extremely well right now with Keen Reinke and Matt Ritchie. So St. Charles North is going to be my second pick. And then here on the turn, there's a lot of intriguing names in the Burbank sectional, but with how loaded that sectional is, I'm personally going to stay away. I'm going to go over to the Lockport sectional. I'm going to take Downers Grove North here. Another team that is playing really good ball at the perfect time. We like their arm in Colin Doyle. Coach Briscoe knows how to win over there, so give me Downers Grove North.
All right. I think I'm just pulling them up because I want to get their wins-loss correct. And what's a beautiful thing about it is there's not too many losses to count. They've got one on the year. We're going 26-1-1 Fremd. Lucky enough to get my eyes on them earlier this year. They've been playing some unbelievable baseball, not just as of late, but all year. And they are poised to make a run in the playoffs. Fremd Vikings, let's do it. You are my third selection.
All right. This is gonna be. I don't know. Let me do some digging a little bit just to make sure that I get the right pick.
He's uncomfortable in the 4A, boys.
When the towns get above 1,000 people, he doesn't know.
Hey.
When there's more than one stoplight.
I'm gonna go Lions.
Oh,
They got
okay.
Tucker King, Jack Slidham. I'm going Lions.
All right.
I like it.
Give me Lincoln Way West. What are we doing here? I mean, they got that three-headed monster, huh?
They've got too many. I've already picked teams in that
Yeah,
area,
I know,
so I gotta
but,
stay away.
We're just taking, I don't know, they're a heavy hitter. It is a tough sectional, but Essenberg, Pettit, Acevedo leading that charge on the mound, and then, they got more depth behind it, and their offense I like. We'll see. It's definitely like a tough schedule, like we said, but if they get out of it, you never know.
What we got?
I have
Last
the
pick?
last pick?
Dave? Yeah.
I'm gonna go number 14th in our Power 25, 26-6 record, Nazareth Academy.
Boom.
Loaded roster. Really like their arms. I think they are built for a deep run.
I mean, leaving
It would have
some
felt
teams out.
weird.
This
Yeah, it
is
would have
tough.
felt weird if we didn't take Naz, honestly. Coach Milano over there, they do a great job at year in and year out, but it is a tough sectional, so we'll see.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but I was eyeing O'Fallon extremely hard.
Totally.
It's
But
that whole
we-
Edwardsville O'Fallon thing. Like, if they match up and one of them wins, it's hard to go against them.
When you brought it up, I mean, their first game is going to be Alton, so you're going to get probably some combination of, oh my gosh,
Logan Hickman.
Logan Hickman
Anderson
and Anderson
Kaufman.
Kaufman.
Yeah, and like
So-
you can't throw off again in your first round matchup if you're O'Fallon. So you
Right.
gotta throw your best arms. And Alton is a really, really good club. And that played into some of these picks, right? Like, you don't want your team to lose in that first or second round, and no matter what, you can't control that. But at least we're trying to choose what makes the most sense. The loaded sectionals are hard to choose against. The Hampshire, Barrington, DeKalb, Huntley, like there's a lot of good teams in that McHenry sectional. And then the Revis one, like the Burbank one. And I know we took some of those with Lions and Naz, but Mount Carmel's in there too. And Mount Carmel's actually the team that came out of that last year. Made it to the
I was
super
just going to say
section.
that.
So
That Mount Carmel was a super sectional team last year, and they're down there. They might sneak through.
well, I was thinking about Mount Carmel after watching them the other day, and it's like they were a year early last year making it to the super sectional. Like, this could have been a good year, but even looking at their team for next year, they're going to be all seniors. They're going to get Ian Tosi back. They'll have Matisse. They'll have Ellen Tenney. They'll have McQuillan. They'll have Ireland. They'll have Brady Holland. They'll have Anthony Chavez. They'll have Fernandez. Like, they lose like Colin
Osornio,
Adams.
yeah.
They'll have Mario Medina, Pancho Vasquez, their whole team. I'm super, like, talk about far too early Power 25 rankings for next year, but I left that game and that's what I was thinking about. I was like, all these dudes, they're all juniors. So,
Well, that was good. I feel good about my picks. Honestly, I feel better about 1A, 2A, 4A. not
We
so
could
much.
tell.
But
We should
yeah.
we should release a poll and let the fans on Twitter decide who had
Yes.
the best draft.
Yeah. Yeah. Grade our drafts. Yeah.
Roast me in the comments. I don't care. Just
Yeah, that would.
just
You
keep
can
it
roast
PG.
me. I
but
just don't know how
but
you
can roast
these
me.
picks.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to go through who everybody has? Like, I could read off who I have.
Yeah, so let's do 1A. Yeah, go for it. 1A.
So for me in 1A, I've got Marquette Academy, Ottawa. They were my first pick. Then Route Catholic, then Goreville.
I've
I can
got
go.
I've got Father McGivney, Monmouth United, and Forreston.
I've got Harvest Christian, Waltonville, and Armstrong.
Going with the arms. Yeah.
I've got Arcola, North Clay, and then Parkview Christian, the sleeper.
I have St. Bede out of Ottawa from the Peru sectional, Gibson City out of the Arcola sectional, and then Illini Bluff out of the Jacksonville sectional.
And then Drew for 2A. What do you got?
Yeah, Nashville was my first pick. Pleasant Plains, and then Greenville.
And then I had St. Joe Ogden, I had Byron, and I had Tremont. I feel really good about that, by the way.
Then I got Teutopolis, Monticello, and IVC.
I had Wilmington, Normal U High, and St. Anthony, and I feel good about that too.
All right, Drew. And then 3A.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, sorry, Dave. Sorry.
I
That's
mean,
good.
come on, Gavin. What are we doing?
I had Chicago Hope, Sacred Heart Griffin, and Newman Central Catholic.
All right, 3A, Gavin, I'm working with Prairie Ridge, Lamont, and Marion.
All right, I got St. Lawrence, Glenwood, and East Peoria.
I've got DePaul College Prep, St. Francis, and then Cary Grove.
Muscuda, JCA, and Morris. I'm very
De La Salle, and St.
All right, 4A, Drew.
All right, can we just grade out by class? Because if anybody likes your guys' pick better than mine in 4A, there's something wrong with them. I got the top 2 teams in the state according to our Power 25: Brother Rice and Manuka, and then I got Friend.
All right, I've got Normal Community, Lincoln Way East, and Lions.
And then I took Edwardsville, St. Charles North, and Downers Grove North.
We got McHenry, Lincoln Way West, and Provi.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we got some big hitters there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The best for last, we got Libertyville, New Trier, and Nazareth Academy.
I like that.
All right.
I like
Yeah.
New Trier's path.
All right, well, we will see. We'll have to keep an eye out throughout the each week and see, kind of have a running tally, Tyler.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it each week. But no, unless you guys have anything else, that'll round out our playoff special here of the Bullpen. Appreciate you guys listening. We'll see you next time.